You open the email from your landlord and your stomach drops. The lease renewal is here, and the number is higher again. Same apartment, same leaky faucet, same noisy neighbor. So why does it suddenly cost you more to keep living here? If it feels like rent only ever moves one direction, you're not imagining it. And no, you did not just pick a bad building. There are real, traceable reasons rent keeps climbing. Once you can see the machine, you can finally play it smarter. First, the proof. Across the United States, asking rents have jumped more than 30% since 2020. In some fast-growing cities, rents rose far faster than that, climbing well past 40% in just a few short years. Meanwhile, paychecks crawled. For most renters, wages simply did not rise anywhere near as fast as the rent on their door. The result is a squeeze you can feel. Today, half of all renters spend more than 30% of their income just on housing. Economists call that being rent-burdened, and 1 in 4 renters now spends over half of everything they earn on rent alone. So why is this happening? The biggest reason is the simplest one, and it has been building for decades. We did not build enough homes. Think of housing like musical chairs. When there are far more people than chairs, the price of every chair gets bid up. After the 2008 crash, home building collapsed and stayed low for years, even as the population kept growing. Experts estimate the country is now short millions of homes, with most estimates landing somewhere between 4 and 7 million units. When supply is that far behind demand, landlords hold the power. They do not have to compete hard because someone else always needs the unit. But why did building slow down so badly? A huge part of the answer is hiding in your local laws. It is called zoning. Zoning is the rule book that decides what can be built where. And in most American cities, the rules quietly outlaw cheaper housing. In huge stretches of our cities, it is literally illegal to build anything except a single detached house on its own lot. That blocks the apartments, duplexes, and small buildings that would house more people for less money on the same patch of land. Even where building is allowed, the process is slow and expensive. Permits, reviews, and lawsuits can drag on for years. Every month of delay and every extra fee gets baked into the final rent. You pay for the red tape without ever seeing it. So far, this is a story about scarcity. But scarcity attracts a certain kind of buyer, and this is where it gets uncomfortable. Over the last decade, big investment firms realized something. Renters always need a roof, so rental homes are a reliable money machine. So they started buying houses and apartments in bulk, sometimes entire neighborhoods at a time, often paying cash to win every bid. Wall Street still owns only a slice of all rentals nationwide, but in certain hot metros, that slice gets surprisingly large. And concentration is the key word. When one large landlord controls thousands of units in a city, they gain real power over the price. Now meet the part almost nobody talks about. Many large landlords no longer guess at the rent. A software algorithm sets it for them. These rent-setting tools collect private lease data from many competing landlords and then recommend a price to each one. Here is the problem. If rival landlords all follow the same software, they can quietly raise rents together instead of competing to lower them. The software can even suggest holding a unit empty for a while because keeping prices high across the board beats filling one apartment cheap. Lawmakers and courts have started challenging these tools, arguing they look a lot like rivals secretly coordinating prices. Now stack it all together. Too few homes, restrictive zoning, big concentrated owners, and software nudging prices the same direction. Add one more pressure from the top. High interest rates made buying a home brutally expensive, so more people got stuck renting. Every would-be buyer who cannot afford to buy stays in the rental pool, which only pushes demand for rentals even higher. So who actually wins in this system? The people who already own the buildings, the land, and the firms collecting the rent. As rents climb, the value of their property climbs right along with it. Your monthly check becomes their growing asset. And who loses? Renters who watch a bigger slice of every paycheck vanish before they ever cover food, savings, or anything else. When rent eats your income, you cannot save for a down payment, so you stay renting, and the cycle quietly locks itself shut. Here's the part that matters most. You are not powerless inside this machine. There are real moves that tilt the odds back towards you. First, know your numbers. Look up the typical rent for your unit type and area before any renewal lands in your inbox. Then negotiate. A reliable tenant who pays on time is valuable, and an empty unit costs the landlord real money every single month. Ask for a smaller increase or offer a longer lease in exchange for a lower rate. Quietly accepting the first number is optional, not required. Know your rights. Many cities cap how fast rent can rise or require real notice before a hike, so check your local tenant laws. And do not underrate your neighbors. Renters who organize together have far more leverage than any single tenant standing alone. Zoom out, and the long-term fix is clear. More homes of every kind, built faster, in the places people actually want to live. When you vote on local zoning, support new housing, and back rules on price-fixing software, you are voting on your own future rent. Rising rent is not a law of nature. It is the predictable result of choices about supply, ownership, and the rules we set. Understand the machine, and you stop feeling helpless and start making moves. That is exactly what we do here. This is Brainomics,